You're listening to the Cynic Radio Podcast. Now, your hosts, Igri and Cynic.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Cynic Radio Podcast. We're going to do a What is Love version 2.0. Joining us today is our good friend Julez and Kate, and of course, my hetero life mate IG.
We're glad to be here, guys. We're going to have a good time this week. Get ready for some fun questions and some expert response from all of us guys here at the Cynic Radio Podcast.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt.
Let's get going into this. First question we got. All right, ladies, listen up. Gene sends this question, says, hey guys, I've been trying to date a stripper. Why do I find myself attracted to girls I can't have a relationship with?
I guess I would ask myself, what kind of mother relationship do you have? Because maybe that's why that person is looking to have relationships with people that don't really want to have strong relationships.
Maybe it's a mother question. Maybe it's a father question. Maybe it's a motherfucker question. I don't know. The thing is those ladies see hundreds of guys a night, and they tend to be looking for the money. For the right amount of money, maybe you get more things than you want to get. It's not a typical place to go try and find someone to date, but, you know, good luck to you. I guess my best advice is go to church, go to coffee bars, go somewhere else.
I mean, is he just trying to see if he's the winner, though? The guy who can change the stripper?
Could be.
From her ways and be the guy who won her heart?
You know, I don't disagree with you, Kate. I think there's something wrong with you if that's where you're choosing to go. If you're looking for a serious relationship, this isn't where you really want to go. And are you doing this because they're perceived dirty girls? Are you doing this because you know that they've encountered something in their life that's made them emotionally fragile? Or are you looking in that direction because they're possibly, you know, have some sort of dependency problem? I think that Gene needs to kind of look at his values a little bit, reassess what he actually wants out of a relationship, because I don't think you want a relationship if you're looking in those type of places. I think that at the end of the day, Gene, I think the problem's with you.
All right, next we have Nikki. She's 21. She says, Dear Cynic Radio, for the past few weeks, I found myself sexting with guys from Tinder. This morning, my boyfriend caught me and I lied to him. I can't seem to stop. What should I do?
I mean, quit being a hoe. You either decide you want to be in a relationship and quit what you're doing, or you break up with your boyfriend and you go sext whoever the hell you want.
I'm going to co-sign Kate on this one. Because I have to agree that if you are texting, sexting, whatever you're doing, and you already have a boyfriend, you don't want to be in that relationship. Just leave.
If you really feel like the sexting part of it is doing it for you, can't you just kind of sit in a different room from your boyfriend and sext with him? Or is it because they're different people? Is that the thing that's doing it for you? Is because it's the unknown quantity that's going on? If it's the unknown and that's what's doing it for you, then you're doing a disservice to yourself and your boyfriend and any future possibilities for relationships, because you're gonna get into this rabbit hole that you just keep going down the same path and nothing is ever going to be good enough for you. So you might want to think about re-examining who you are and what you're doing, because sexting people just for the thrill of talking to a random person about things that you do to each other, it's a little off. The other thing is, when you're lying about things, that's just going to make you more comfortable lying in the future. Let's not lie about all this. Let's just be honest. Be who you are.
I understand, Nikki. Sexting and Tinder and that whole type of lifestyle, it's sort of like alcohol or drug dependency. So what you need to do is you need to wean yourself off it. I can coach you through it at cynicradio.com if you want to start talking to me in the middle of the night rather than these random guys. I'm available. I work nights. No, honestly, if you value the person you're with at all, you need to go with them, be honest, and cop to what you've done, beg for forgiveness, and change the way you're doing things. You're not only cheating the person you're with, you're cheating yourself. Because if you can never actually honestly commit to somebody, what do you have? You know, you're laying next to a lie. You're living the lie.
All right. So our next question comes from Tiffany. She's 30. And she's got a nice medical question here for us. She says, when a woman gives oral sex to men, does she consume any medication caffeine, nicotine, and other things that are possibly in his system?
Yes. But, I mean, like, he's got to be smoking cigarettes minute after minute after minute or shooting up daily all day long in order for it to go through his semen. But, I mean, if he's a real party animal, then yeah.
Cynic, anything?
Yeah, I was just kind of watching the show. Well, I don't know too much about swallowing myself. I quit that in the 80s. But I can say that you have to be mindful with who you're with, what their habits are. The last thing anybody wants to do is lose a job for a blown drug test and not get the benefits of what they've just lost their jobs for. I would, pay attention to your partner, their habits, the people they hang around with, and there's a pretty good chance that if they were a drug addict before they met you, they're going to be a drug addict while they're with you.
All right, so now we got our first question from a true millennial. Here we go. Kyle is 19, says, I've been dating this girl for about 4 months now, and she doesn't want to tell anyone and won't change her Facebook status from single. I don't know if she's overly private or she's hiding something.
I don't know that's necessarily hiding something. Sometimes people aren't quick to want to change things because, in my opinion, millennials tend to just kind of want to hook up with people or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to change their status to being with someone.
You know, us older generation might not do it because we can't figure out how to click the change your status thing. You know, here's the thing. Maybe she's being private. Maybe she's hiding something. But if she's spending all her time with you anyway, I mean, what's the big deal? Why do you care? I mean, now you're worried about what it says on the computer for other people to talk about. Just go out and live your life. Have fun with what you're doing. And if you're only dating, it's called dating. It's not called relationship. It's not called living together. It's not called marriage. It's called dating. So even if she is dating somebody else, unless you've asked and she's lying about it, it's not a big deal. But if you haven't asked, even if she does date somebody else, it's none of your business. Don't worry about Facebook status. Don't worry about Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff when you're in a relationship with somebody, when you're trying to form something with somebody and see if this is what's going to work for me. Just do the thing, man. Just live it.
I think it's all about keeping your options open until you know for sure.
Kyle, you're not married, my friend. However, I would keep a close eye on the situation. I'm a little less trusting than these guys, and I understand that people your age are less in it to commit. There might be a chance that she's just overly private or shy. It might be a parental issue, or it might be that she's banging the guy in the next town. Just keep an eye on the situation. If you trust her, then you have nothing to worry about. If you don't trust her, then you're probably with the wrong person.
Melissa, 24, says, my husband and I have been married for 3 years. She got married young, ladies and gentlemen. We used to have sex 3 or 4 times a week, and now I'm lucky if it's once or twice a month. He's only 23. I'm wondering, is this normal for him?
I don't think that's normal. No. I don't think that's normal for a 23-year-old, personally. I think I would start doing some digging around to see if has some extracurricular activities on the side. I'm not a guy. I don't know what it's like to be a guy, but I happen to think that they usually want to do things more often than 2 or 3 times a month when they're 23.
And that may very well be true, but I've got a couple of stories about that. The first one is an old joke that says, why is every bride smiling as she walks down the aisle? And the answer is because she knows she's given her last blowjob. And the second one is, my uncle told me when I got married, you know, if you put a penny in a jar every time you have sex before you get married, and you take $1 out every time after you got married, the jar will never go empty. The thing is, you put that ring on the finger and the sex tends to slow down quite a bit for most relationships. Not all, but for most. And the thing is, 2 or 3 times a month at 23 is odd. That's odd. Now, when you talk about getting further along in life, maybe 2 or 3 times a month because you've got kids, you've got soccer practice, you've got 10 different things going on at home, 2 different things going on at work, and 3 different things going on with the neighbors. Yeah, maybe, but at 23, maybe he needs to see a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest, Melissa, right? Check his phone, girl. He's doing someone else. At 23, I don't care if you have kids or extracurriculars or not. You have the nighttime. You're 23.
Yeah, I feel like you're saying about the blowjobs and stuff is from a girl's perspective. Like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. But this is a dude that's not wanting to do it.
This screams porn addiction to me. This screams that, he's emptying the tank before you get home every day. You're probably hitting him while he's recharging. I wouldn't as much check his phone as I would his web browser. I think that he's probably pretty busy when you're not around. If your hand cream is running low, used tissues laying around, you'll know why.
All right, guys, here we go. Jenna, 21, says, "Hi, guys, I'm 21 and a virgin. I'm totally obsessed with this coworker of mine. I've been stalking him and his social media for months, but I'm afraid to try and add him. Is what I'm doing healthy? How do I approach this? I also stole one of his shirts from the break room at work. Should I give it back?"
All right, Jenna, we went unhealthy when you stole his stuff. It's okay to stalk people on Facebook and social media because everyone does that.
That's normal.
But, I mean, the minute you take his stuff, that's unhealthy. So maybe you need to find a new love interest.
And what are you doing with that shirt? I gotta know.
I mean,
Well, a shirt does make a perfect centerpiece for a shrine.
It would. It definitely would.
Few pictures, some hair, you got a perfect shrine going on. Jenna, my friend, you can add this guy. I mean, you can add complete strangers now. It's not going to look strange. The shirt thing is slightly weird, and you might want to figure out a way to smuggle it back to work and leave it somewhere. If you really like this guy, at some point you've got to put yourself out there. Every relationship starts somewhere. Every humiliation starts somewhere as well. It's risk reward. If this is the guy you want to be with, you're going to have to give it a shot. And if it's the fact that you're still a virgin is the problem, there's nothing better to cure that than just being honest about it. Most guys will see it as a compliment if you offer that up to them.
don't let him listen to this, though.
And that's true, but here's the thing. I don't think you want to try and smuggle a shirt back. It'd look awful weird. Shirt's been missing for a month. All of a sudden, there it is, all pristine and fresh pressed in his locker. What the hell, underpants gnome brought my shirt back? Come on. Just throw the shirt out. Don't keep it for yourself either. I don't care how much of his musk you get off of it. Leave it alone. Get rid of it. It's fine. But like Senex said, put yourself out there. Go try and talk to him. Go see what's going on. The worst thing that can happen, and the absolute worst thing that can happen, is they say no. It's slightly embarrassing, and you move on. All right, now we've got Jose, who's 19, says, I've been having sex with a girl for over a year. I know it's wrong, but I'm not sure how to stop. Problem I'm having is it's my brother's wife. Should I tell him? Should I stop seeing her?
In the words of my favorite poet, Ice Cube, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. There is no need to be sleeping with your brother's wife when there are plenty of women out there in the world. You're going to end up in one situation, which will be a double murder.
Yes, you should tell him. Yes, you should stop seeing her. And yes, you should book tickets to Antigua as soon as possible. Get off the grid. Become a mountain man. Do something. I don't know what fascinated you and her to get into this kind of messed up relationship together, but nothing but pain can come from it. And I'm not talking just emotional pain. This is going to be physical pain, because were it my brother, this would be bad, because I'm not good at sharing my goodies.
I mean, I'm just going to go back to my first advice. Just quit being a hoe. There's a whole world out there. It's your sibling. Quit it. Tell everyone. And then leave. Just leave. Let them figure out their marriage on their own.
Oh, you're saying tell everyone.
Yes.
You're saying tell?
You can't live with that secret.
Now, let me ask you guys, do you tell?
Absolutely. You have to come clean.
So you're like saying throw it like a grenade, like, I slept with your wife, bye! And you just run off.
Yeah.
You do it from a distance, though, because they're going to be in some stupid fucking argument someday about the dishes or the laundry, and she's going to be like, I've been fucking your brother for years now. And then the ass beating comes when you least expect it. You're sitting there in the middle of your Deadwood or Westworld marathon eating Cheetos, and your brother kicks in your door, and the ass beating commences. You need to tell.
Yelling it out the window.
I mean, at
By
least
the way.
phone call that. You can't just text like, hey, fucked your sister, bye. Or you're not your sister, your wife.
No, it can be a text, because I wouldn't want to be in the same room.
It needs to be a text. I want a running start. I want to get out of town. I'm going to do it from the Greyhound bus. Signed, Jamie Lannister. I agree. It probably should be a phone call, but I wouldn't stick around. I mean, I would talk to her first and let her know that you have to stop. And I would tell her that, you both should come clean. I mean, whether she wants to do it in front of him or not is completely up to her. But this goes nowhere good. At the end of the day, this is how murder-suicides or double murder-suicides happen. You can't tread there. You can't go there. It's one thing to sleep with your buddy's wife. That's your brother, and he's your brother for life.
Is it one thing to sleep with your buddy's wife?
Aren't we just staying?
I'm thinking that's not cool either.
It happens every day. You don't necessarily need to be friends anymore. I mean, you don't necessarily need to be friends anymore, but Thanksgiving's going to get awful fucking awkward.
Stay
And
away
you
from
have
people's
experience with awkward Thanksgivings, don't we, Cynic?
I absolutely do.
There are levels of how screwed up things are. And this would definitely be levels up from your buddy's wife to sleep with your brother's wife. While it's still not okay to sleep with your buddy's wife, it is by levels worse to sleep with your brother's wife. So, Jose, bite the bullet, make the phone call, get out of town, let everybody know, call your mama, she's going to be mad, and handle your business. So our next question comes from Mandy. She's 29. She says, I was dating a guy for a few years, and we got into the rough sex thing. We broke up, and I can't orgasm anymore unless I'm being choked. My new boyfriend doesn't feel comfortable doing it because he's afraid he may hurt me. What should I do?
To that I say, Kate, stop sending in questions to the show. I say that you might need to seek a little bit of help for that, because I think that we all have our different sort of things that, might turn us on or we are into, but I think you're getting into danger play there.
Yeah, you might be a little bit into danger play. There are safe ways to do this, and I think the help that you may need to search might not necessarily be the professional help that would be in the phone book. Might be professional help that is on the internet in the darker corners. There are people who are professional at this, who have trained and learned proper ways to maybe administer the pain you're looking for, and can maybe help you and your new boyfriend learn a way to do this that maybe you don't get hurt. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. It is a little odd. Most of us in the world are living our clean lives, doing our own thing, and there's always going to be somebody who's into the next thing. But there are ways to do things safe. Spend some time, do some research, find the safest ways to do things. They even make breakaway collars for cats, so why wouldn't they make one for adults? Let's do this. I mean,
you seem to know a lot about this.
I have a lot of time on my hands, and when you start looking up things on the internet, all of a sudden looking at who won the last battle of World War II turns into, why won't this cat fit up my butt?
I feel like I keep giving recommendations to seek therapy, and you're actually giving recommendations.
I feel like I'm really missing the boat on this whole seek therapy thing, because I just want to go with, I feel like there's a safe way to do it. Like, maybe make him pretend like he's choking you or something. Like, tell him to just kind of do it. See what happens. Like, I don't know.
I think he doesn't want to do it is the problem.
Then maybe find a different way to do pain. Or, honestly, like IG said, go to people who are professionals about it. I never even thought about that, and teach you how to do it the right way. But
if your boyfriend is going, I don't want to do it, I don't care who teaches me how to do it, I don't want to do it.
Well, if he just straight up doesn't want to do it, then, that's something you guys have to talk about, because if you're just never going to O-face with him, then...
Well, Mindy, my friend, what you're going through is learned behavior. And the neat thing about learned behavior is you can unlearn it if you want. You don't want to make anybody do anything they don't want to do. You don't want them to be uncomfortable. And especially, you don't want him to have to explain to the police why he's standing over your dead body that things went a little too far and I was inexperienced and, she told me to choke her, because you're not around to confirm the story. Find somebody that's willing to do this for you, or find another way to get off. But I'm pretty sure that you don't want to be pressured into doing things that you don't want to do, and that's probably just a slight physical nature. This could be fatal. It's not healthy for you. If you want to do that, take up MMA. If you want somebody to come choke the shit out of you, go fight Chuck Liddell. But don't put this on your boyfriend.
So our next question comes from Tim. He's 35. He says, I've been married for 10 years and have 2 children. My wife works. I don't, so I stay at home with the kids. She never has any time for me, so I started seeing a prostitute from Craigslist regularly. I was able to hide it for the last 6 months, but now she noticed that our savings is empty. What should I tell her about where the money went? Should I cop to it and tell her the truth?
Yes.
You're screwed.
That's so selfish. Yes, totally 100% go and tell your wife what you did and
get
pray
a divorce
for mercy.
Attorney.
Because, she's out working, so you don't have to. And then you say she doesn't have any time for you.
And then you drain the savings.
And then you drain the savings. It was the worst when you were just cheating on her. But now you drain the savings, you definitely have to cop to it.
And you might have an STD.
Well, we could hope that he has an STD, but here's the thing. You have to own it. She's going to find out one way or another, and telling her is going to be less painful than her having to hire the PI to go do it behind your back. Tell her, but be prepared for the consequences. You reap what you sow. You made your bed. Go sleep in it. This is going to end badly, but you have to tell her. You have to tell her. You have to tell her the truth. You have to tell her where the money went, and probably go get a job to start refreshing that savings, because you have children. And what is this going to do to your kids? Now, they're going to have a separated home. You're going to have to own it, though. That's the best thing you can do.
You signed up for the role, Tim. You decided to be the stay-at-home dad, and I'm sorry if that demasculated you a little bit. However, I hope you save some of that money for a divorce lawyer, and you get used to sleeping on your buddy's couch, because that's where you're headed. You may have a touch of sex addiction, my friend, and that's something you may have to look into and maybe seek some counseling for. But ultimately, you're an adult. You knew exactly what you were doing every time you rang that number up, every time you slid the credit card or went and withdrew money from the bank account. There is no way to get around this. You're going to have to man up and cop to it.
Can I just interject? Does seeing a prostitute equate a sex addiction?
If you can't control the behavior, there's a good chance that there might be a touch of something going on. I'm not saying it's full-fledged, but I'm saying that if you're doing something wrong and it flies in the face of everything you know is right, there's got to be something mentally wrong with you. And whether it be pop pills or drink margaritas in midday or see a prostitute when you know that you're a committed married man with there's something going on if you can't rein that behavior in.
All right, so our next question comes from Samantha. She's 29. She says, I recently had to get a breast reduction surgery. I was triple D, and it was causing health problems, so they brought me down to a C. After the surgery, my boyfriend broke up with me. I'm afraid I made a mistake and men will no longer want me. He told me he would take me back if I got implants and went back to my original cup size. Should I do it?
No.
Samantha, I want to talk to you, girl to girl here. You didn't make the wrong decision by getting the surgery. You made the wrong decision by being with that dick face.
Boom.
Find a guy who loves your C's. That's still pretty big, girl.
C's are plenty. And a guy that wants you just for your breasts, either you have absolutely nothing else to offer, you've got no personality at all, or he is so shallow and self-interested that he's the wrong guy to be with anyway. There's going to be plenty of guys out there that you could have next to nothing and they're still going to love you. No, don't go back to them. I understand that when they're that big, your back problems are endless. Do what you got to do to be healthy for you, girl. Do your thing. Find a new guy. Send this guy off into the merry ever after and hope that he contracts dick cancer.
I agree, because any guy that wants you to go bigger when it was out of your comfort zone, you were unhappy, you did not feel well about it, and now you feel better. Anybody that wants you to go back to feeling bad so he can feel good, drop him like a bad habit.
Well, you can always offer to carry him around for her. I mean, it's okay to like one portion of a picture. It's okay to like one part of a movie or one character in a story. It's not okay to like one facet of a person. You did what was right for your health. If he can't respect you and support that decision and he's only worried about his own needs, you're just dating the wrong guy. There'll be plenty of guys out there. As a breast enthusiast, you'll find somebody that'll love your C's just like he did your triple D's. You'll be fine. Dump the guy, move on. There's plenty of boobs in the sea.
So our next question comes from Karen. She says, I've been married about a month. I just recently found out that my husband has a lingerie fetish. This lingerie fetish is a bit strange. I came home and caught him wearing my bra and panties. Is he gay? Should I try and talk to him? Should I make him get help?
I don't think that he's gay necessarily. I do feel like there are men out there that just have a thing about wearing bras and panties and women's clothes, but I do feel like this is a pretty major issue to be 1 month into your marriage. And that you would definitely need to sit down together and discuss what's going on with him, because I do think that if you're willing to accept this, it might just be contained to him liking that. I don't think it necessarily makes him gay, but I definitely would worry down the road. Maybe he really kind of like Caitlyn Jenner's situation. Maybe it's like he really does want to, change in the future? And do you want to invest in that relationship if you think you ultimately will not stay together?
Yeah, this is where I wonder about people. I mean, how much time do you spend together and learn about each other before you actually go and get married? Some people I don't think have any of the discussions before they get married about just everything. You need to start making sure that we have conversations before we get married about life, about what you like, about what you don't like, about the things that you do. A month in, did you only have a month before, and now 2 months in, he's trying to put on your bra and panties? I mean, spend some time to get to know somebody, but the real question remains is, does this weird you out to the point where you can't be with him anymore? He's probably not gay, and he's probably not transgender. He probably doesn't want to transition or anything. He's probably just a guy that likes lacy under things on his naughty bits, and that's fine. But here's the thing. It has to be fine with you, too. There isn't help to get for this unless you want to help him find things that fit him properly. You just need to make sure that you guys have the discussions, talk to each other, and find out if you're okay with this. Now, the best thing I can tell you is have this discussion as fast as you can, because you don't want to keep this marriage going and stay in it longer than you need to if you're not going to be okay with it.
I'm just going to have to go with I 100% agree with both of you. It's just something you need to talk about and figure out.
Well, it's definitely a discussion they should have had pre-marriage. He should have sat her down and he should have been honest with her. I don't think he developed this since they've been married. I mean, unless she's got some super exotic bras and underwear that he's never seen before, and he's like, I got to try these on. I got to stand in front of the mirror. What an interesting world it would be if we all had to wear our fetishes on our t-shirts. You know, everybody has some sort of weird thing going on in their bedroom. It goes as deep as psychology. My biggest thing is the discussion needs to be had, number one, but number two, don't tell anybody. You know, don't tell your friends, your coworkers, your parents. He doesn't need to be judged by anyone but you. You know, you're his wife at the end of the day. If you can get past it, then great. If it weirds you out to the point where, then there's always annulments. There's always other legal routes you could go that are much cheaper than divorce. But this is not a game breaker. It's not a game changer. It's just not. It's not a deal breaker. Work through it. Talk about it. Make him comfortable with it, and have some honest discussions.
All right, so our next question comes from Jody. Jody's 24. I am a transgender woman. Most people can't tell that I used to be a man. My one and only problem is that it only seems I'm attracted to straight guys. How do I find someone? How long should I wait before I tell someone?
This is a tricky question because this kind of goes back to, I mean, in a lesser way, like if you have a venereal disease or something like that. Like, how long do you wait to tell someone? Because, you know, that's sort of something you want to know up front, but what are you supposed to say? Hi, my name is Egg and I have a venereal disease.
That's my standard opening.
It's on his greeting cards.
So that's a little awkward. I mean, I could see on that situation, you want to kind of, you know, give yourself a little time to get to know a person. But in the situation that this person's in, I think it can become dangerous if you don't let somebody know something like that up front. People don't always react in the best ways to some things like that. And I think in this situation, in my personal opinion, that's like a first day kind of thing. You need to let somebody know that.
Even though they can't tell, I mean, if you still haven't gone through the full reassignment procedure, if you guys kind of are getting to the point where it's getting frisky and they reach down and instead of finding, you know, the palace of the Himalayas, they find the naughty bits and the twig and berries, that's going to be a little bit confusing to somebody. There are circles out there that will allow you to find the right people. I know there are dating sites and other things that are strictly run into people like this because the rule exists. If you can think it, it exists on the internet. But here's the thing. You have to tell somebody immediately. You have to let people know what's going on. And if most people can't tell that you used to be a man, I'm sure there is a straight guy out there who would be willing to be with you for who you are. We get so caught up in the sexuality and the actual sex times that we do that we forget that really the relationships we form are about the person you're with and not about what you do in your bedroom. Your bedroom time, even if you're very, very proficient, is still going to be less than 10% of your relationship. You got to look at it in the real sense of you have to be comfortable with a person, and you have to be able to spend your time with that person, not doing just sex things. So sex is important, which is why it's important that they know what they're getting into, but you're going to find out that there's someone out there for you.
I mean, I feel like she can take a minute. I don't think that she has to be like, my favorite color is blue and I used to have a penis. I think that she can definitely like wait until she sees if this is something that she wants to be in and something that he is interested in. And then once you form, because I also don't think that everyone goes out and has sex on the first date. I mean, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But if it's something real, I think that she can take the minute and then maybe after the third date be like, hey, just wanted to let you know I used to be a dude.
I feel like you're too far in it then. For me, I'm mad.
Third date?
Now I'm mad. I'm mad that I've been hanging out with you.
Julez, you're 100% right. The second that you sense some sort of spark between you and him, you need to cop to it right away. You don't want to waste people's time. You don't want to lead them down the wrong path. And if you get the wrong homophobic guy, it's going to be a problem for you. We live in great times. Everybody gets a seat at the table nowadays. Nobody needs to hide, in the dark shadows with whatever's going on with them. The culture is more accepting now than they've ever been to all walks of life. You need to be forthright. Wanting to convert straight guys thing might be like a dog chasing a car type thing. I know the thrill of the hunt, the thrill of the chase to see what I can get away with or see what I can get him to do. Probably exhilarating, but probably not the best tactic to take. Most straight guys are not going to be okay with this, and it could really put your personal safety in jeopardy.
All right, our next question comes from Alan. This girl I'm talking to had sent me a few nude pics over Snapchat, and I wanted to return the favor. I took one and tried to send it to her. Instead, I put it on Twitter instead of Snapchat. I'm average size, but I'm uncircumcised. My whole dorm has seen it. What should I do?
Adam, at that point, just own it. I mean, just walk around like that's what you meant to do. Because people, if you let them make fun of you, they're gonna make fun of you. But if you walk in, own it, and they're like, hey, I saw your dick on Twitter, be like, yeah, you did. Did you enjoy looking at it? And just own it like that's what you meant.
I have to agree. I do totally agree with you on that, because the second they sense weakness or embarrassment, they're going to lay into you. If you're cocky about it, no pun intended, but if you're cocky about it and you're just like, yep, that's what I meant to do, it loses its fun to make fun of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best thing you can ask them to do is to retweet it. Send it back out to all their friends. Yeah. Make sure everybody knows, hey, look at this.
That's awesome.
I'll let everybody see it. I don't care. If you're gonna be shy about it and everything, that's fine. And I understand where the embarrassment would come from because it was an unexpected thing. But just look at it as a bonus. You might get some hits back, some girls sending you messages saying, hey, I like what I'm seeing. You might get some weirdos back too, but, you take the good with the bad.
Well, if all else fails, Jody is always lurking.
Who's Jody?
Jody's the girl he went to Snapchat, right?
Oh.
No, Jody was the girl, the transgender lady from the last question.
How quickly we forget.
Nothing shuts a joke down faster than copping to it and going along with it. I use this at work all the time. If nothing can stick to you, then the joke gets old really quickly and dies out. Like these guys said, go along with it, own it, be proud of it. There's nothing else you can do. You're in the lurch. You might as well go along for the ride. It'll get you positive attention. It'll get negative attention. And people are certainly going to make too much bun on the hot dog jokes.
On a side note, send it to me because I've never seen an uncircumcised penis.
Oh, you haven't?
What a sheltered life to be your age and not have even seen one. I mean,
It's like a penis with a turtleneck sweater on.
I mean, like, I have no idea. Have you seen one?
Yeah, you gotta roll it back.
I have not come across one. I'm sorry.
Well, they're not at the bus stop. You hope not, anyway.
So our next question comes from Rachel. She's 24. She says, Cynic Radio Podcast, I can't seem to have an orgasm with my boyfriend during sex, but I can when I masturbate. He's starting to get discouraged. What should I do?
Does she masturbate like with a dildo or something? Because I would probably...
We don't have any of that information. We just know that she can roll that O face when she's clicking her own mouse.
I guess I would recommend that she shows her boyfriend what she does to herself, play by play, that gets her to where she can have an orgasm.
Well, and if she's using a vibrator, bring the vibrator into sex.
Yeah.
Use both.
More than likely she is.
Let's be real.
Each of you women are all different, and none of you come with instruction manuals, and the only way men get things is through instruction. So you need to instruct him. You need to give him an A, B, C, D direction plate. Because the thing is each woman has that. Each woman has the combination where you turn the dial the right way and the lock opens. But not each woman is the same combination. Some are 3 numbers, some are 12 numbers, some are 42 numbers. Guess what? If you got to do 42 numbers to get her to blow, do your thing, man. But it does sound like a lot of work, but there's the guy out there that's willing to do it. And if your guy is one of those guys because he's getting discouraged, that means that he's still willing to try, and he's willing to do what it takes. Tell him what it takes. Show him what it takes. And I guarantee if you show him what it takes, he's going to be ready to do that immediately. There's nothing turns a guy on more than watching his woman get off.
Yeah, going back to there is no right or wrong way to do this. There's your way. We don't get you with instruction manuals. Men don't get women and they hand out, this is what turns me on, this is what turns me on. It's all about listening. It's all about discussion, and it's all about being honest with each other. One piece of advice I can give you, if you're using the Swedish jackhammer, you may be desensitizing yourself, and you might want to slow down with that. You can build up calluses in the area, and that could make it harder for you to get off.
Should I Google that?
I figured you already owned it. Most guys are going to be willing to do what it takes to make you happy, even if that involves using the toy. Anything so they can get off and go to sleep will probably, they'll be happy for the help. So once again, it's a matter of communication. It's a matter of honesty, and it's a matter of being open-minded.
So our final question of the day comes from Peter. He's 30. He says, I've recently lost my job and had to move back home with mom and dad. I've been kind of a dry spell with the ladies recently. The other day, I had headphones on and was watching porn, and I may have been getting a little overly friendly with my bed. My mom walked in the middle of it, screamed, turned around, and ran out. I can't even look at her. What do I say to her? Should I just move out?
Wow. That's embarrassing. I don't even know. I'm a mother of a 21-year-old. If I ever had that happen, I would die.
If he was getting friendly with a bed,
No, she caught him
just
midway.
yeah, okay.
That is just embarrassing.
I'll own it.
Yeah, between the mattress and the box spring.
Oh.
As a mother, I would probably be like, I'd be embarrassed, but I would never, I would just act like I didn't see it. So I guess he should just act like he didn't see him do it.
Play it off. It never happened.
Yeah.
Walk downstairs and be like, hey, Mom, what's up for dinner?
Yeah.
And just, you do your
Ham
thing, she does
sandwiches.
hers. Shit never happened.
In the future, can you be a little more discreet? You got to know when mom and dad are going to bed. Come on. Lock your door. Do it in the middle of the night. Make sure nobody's up and roaming around. And get earbuds and just put one in. That way you can hear when people are coming. Try to be a little more discreet about it, my friend. I understand in today's society, it's hard to go out and just get a new job where you can afford to buy a house and everything. It's a difficult world we live in. At the same time, you need to be observant of the people that you're living with. You need to be around what's going on. You need to be aware. If people are up and moving around the house, maybe that's not the best time to be playing with the hog, if you know what I'm saying. Let this one go. Don't say anything to her. Bringing it up is just going to create an awkward conversation that may lead to other problems. But at the same time, I don't know as you need to move out.
To me, part of being in a relationship with your memory foam mattress is remembering that you don't live by yourself. There's probably a lock on your door. You probably should have used it. When you move in with somebody, you enter into almost like a social contract that you're going to keep your weirdness to a minimum and keep it private. Should you have had headphones on? Should you have been doing the things you're doing? Probably not. but there's a discreet way and there's a time and place for everything. Respect your mom, apologize, hope she doesn't tell your dad or the neighbor lady down the street, and get your own place.
All right, and that's been all the questions we've had. This has been What is Love? We've been having a great time. I'm Igrahi, always with Cynic. We've had our special guests, Julez and Kate. This has been a great time. We look forward to talking to you again. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and used condoms to cynicradio.com. Send us email at cynicradio@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/cynicradio. And on Twitter at cynicradio. And until next time, don't get captured.
Follow the podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and at cynicradio.com. Available for download on iTunes.
Bye.